Welcome to Living Local After Dark. I am your host, Sharice Gomez, and it is Friday night, so you know what that means. We are recapping the hottest headlines of popular culture, and I have a special guest and friend of the show in studio. You may know him. I think you already know and love him. We're talking about Emmy Award-winning producer, writer, editor, also producer and host of his own hit podcast, The Tangle, and founder of Ridley Media, Kyle Ridley. I don't think we have enough time for the resume.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I would have wasted a lot of trees reading through everything and then turn the page.
Multifaceted,
multi-hyphenate. I love all the things that you do. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Yes. Well, you know what? We got to get the people caught up because there's a lot of stuff that's happened in pop culture. And I am so interested in your take on one story in particular because of you have the producer mindset. So let's take a walk. Come along with me. We're going to talk about reality star Taylor Frankie Paul. You heard of her?
I have.
Yes. Well, you may have seen her on the season of Bachelorette that was shelved by ABC. But as early as mid-July, according to a new TMZ report, despite the season having been canceled in March, ABC and Disney Entertainment Television originally halted the season after a 2023 domestic violence video involving her and her ex, Dakota Mortensen. Everybody saw that video. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. They said they were going to reschedule the premiere or cancel it. We don't really know, but now we know. Industry insiders now suggest the network may reconsider airing the already filmed season. So that means money spent, talent has already flown out, ruined their lives, quit their jobs, and potentially recoup production costs and avoid shelving an expensive project permanently. No final decision has officially been announced, but these are all in talks and alleged. So Kyle, my dear, my question to you: should networks air completed reality shows after, the star has been canceled? Do you believe in cancel culture, or do you believe this is just simply public accountability?
I think this might be more of a cash grab, and the network really needing to make up some of the money that they lost, probably 20, 30 million to produce this season of a show that has not seen the light of day. Plus there's the 20-something odd bachelors who left their jobs, and I think some of them are trying to rally together to get seen on TV and maybe recoup some of their money. As far as cancel culture, I believe in it, but I don't think it's permanent nowadays because you see everyone who has been canceled, even I'm thinking of Louis C.K. or Bill Cosby, they still tour. Maybe Grand Mass thinks they're canceled, but they still have their fans that they can fill shows and make money from. In this case, I think it's a bit different because this is not a crime in that sense. It's a domestic violence issue that we have footage of, but it really seems more like a crime on ABC's part that they knew all of this before hiring her as the next Bachelorette.
I burnt my lip, Kyle. Oh my!
Well, you could see the footage in the very first season of the show because there was a previous domestic violence issue, and they've known this. Now they're going in their fourth season, so they knew this, and I think they really wanted to capitalize on Hulu and ABC being part of the same family, but. I mean, this spelled out drama right away. I mean, she slept with her ex-husband the night before going to The Bachelor to film The Bachelor, and she was conflicted. And I'm glad she's getting help now, but
yes.
It's as a producer, they did not do their due diligence.
So that was my next question is I want to know with your producer hat on. Number one, would you cast her knowing, what she brings to the table as a reality star because you are familiar with her before Bachelorette? Number one, would you have casted her? Number two, would you have ever canceled after this video came out? But it wasn't even a huge surprise because this isn't her first offense. So as a producer, would you cast her?
I would not have cast her. I think the writing is on the wall that she should have just stuck to her Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and dealt with that drama, but to put her on a network show where she's vying for love for men when she's dealt with toxic relationships and has shown that she can't get over her ex baby daddy, I don't know what they were thinking as far as she's going to find love and get married and all her problems will be solved. I think there's serious mental help that she needs to have, which she's getting, and she's in a big legal battle now. But I understand that they want to make their money back. I understand that she probably wants the season shown as well, because it probably puts her in a different light than everything we're seeing right now with throwing stools and all of that. But I just hope that she's focusing on her family right now and herself.
There's a few things here, and I think that, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives has one audience, and then Bachelor Nation is a totally different audience. And you usually see the bachelorettes are America's sweethearts. They're, from a small town. They're a little attorney in a small firm and all of these things. And I feel like they really tried to shake it up and morph this audience together.
I think it blew up in their face.
Absolutely.
And they tried to do it on a lighter note with like Dancing with the Stars, with having two of the Mormon wives on. Maybe that's a better fit. But filming someone trying to find love, I had Candace Dillard Bassett from The Housewives on my show, and she's a big Bachelor Nation fan. And a few months before this aired, she was like, I've watched Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and even for me, it's a little too ghetto. That's what her exact quote. It's a little too ghetto.
A little too
It's
ghetto.
very much breaking the formula of what Bachelor is, and I think they need to get back on track. But I don't know if airing this is going to help.
My sentiments exactly, Candace, because the thing is, we don't tune into Bachelor Nation for, tables being thrown and drinks being thrown. That's not what I tune into. I tune into what reality TV was in the early 2000s and the Trisha and Ryan days, where it was like, oh my goodness, and they're still married, like very wholesome reality TV, a little bit of drama, but nothing too crazy. Well, we'll keep our eye on this, because I feel like the writing's on the wall for sure, but money has to be made. And again, all these gentlemen are probably trying to be influencers, and you can't be an influencer if your show never went to air.
No, you
can't get the followers up that way.
But
well,
best of luck.
Best of luck to everyone. Well, you know what? I have something else that's a little drama-filled, and it's Oprah against the Whitney Houston estate. So stick with us, Kyle. We still have a lot to talk about. You're watching Living Local After Dark. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It is Living Local After Dark, and I'm back with Kyle Ridley. Kyle, we had to unpack a lot of drama with Bachelor Nation before we went to commercial break. And now we have to talk about the Queen of Media herself, and also The Voice. Two queens, if you will.
The Queen? I watched her every day after school growing up.
4 o'clock. In Atlanta, it was 4 o'clock. And I told all my teachers, like, that's who I want to be when I grow up. And they're like, yeah, okay, you just talk a lot. But joke's on you now. I get paid to talk. But Oprah is the queen. I think everyone in media will bow down. But she seems to be in some hot water right now. And let me tell you why. With the Whitney Houston estate, of all people, the estate of Whitney Houston is now pushing back against comments made by the Oprah Winfrey, who recently claimed Houston fell off the stage during a 2009 appearance. How long ago was that, Kyle? And on the Oprah Winfrey Show, after relapsing on drugs. Probably should have thrown in some allegedlys there. Oprah shared the story at the Cannes Lions Film Festival, saying she asked audience members not to leak the incident because she feared it would severely damage Houston's reputation. However, Houston's sister-in-law and estate executor, Pat Houston, who's a longtime friend and defender of Whitney Houston, said that Whitney did fall, but only during a sound check because of poor lighting and unfamiliarity of the stage, insisting she was absolutely not high. And the state argues that while Whitney openly struggled with addiction during parts of her life, it is unfair to connect every setback and performance issue to drug use. Now, Kyle, this is hard for me because I love Whitney, God rest her soul, and I love me some Oprah. But dare I say, I would have just kept that to the grave.
Me too. It seems a bit unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's like, I was just saying, it's like, we love Oprah. She almost can do no wrong. It's like our Aunt Oprah, and she's getting older, and she doesn't care what people's... She seems a bit invincible, because she has been associated with, Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil. She did that interview with the Michael Jackson accusers. Remember that Million Little Pieces? She has been through a lot. I think at this point she's just like, I'm going to say what I want. I'll get through it. I've dealt with drama and backlash, but this is just one, let Whitney rest. I mean, if it is true, we don't need to know that. If she did tell all of the audience to be quiet, and they have kept it quiet for more than a decade. Why couldn't she? It just like, what's the point?
Yeah, I almost want to watch the full interview because I know sometimes we get clips and they go viral, and I'm like, how did the questioning lead to this? Did they ask her what's the craziest thing that's happened on the show? And she's like, you know what? I'm going to tell you exactly the craziest thing. I want to watch that full interview because there's some context missing here. But even still, do you think that when someone has passed on that we owe it to keep their legacy pristine? Because we've seen different things happen. Like Michael Jackson still has documentaries coming out long after his death in 2009 as well. And I to hear people talking about JFK Jr.'s sex life. Like a lot of people have passed on and people are still talking about them. And sometimes I feel icky about it. But then I'm like, it's 2026. Let's just say it with our chest. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I think when you're in the public eye and such a big celebrity, it's sort of fair game that people are going to talk about you forever. But I think there's a level of respect that maybe people don't keep in mind when they've passed, because there's already a lot to be said about Whitney Houston, her legacy. People already know that she battled addiction. Do we need to know about her slipping off a stage one time, a humiliating event? We have footage of her performing under the influence and not doing well. It's like, this is just another layer that it just feels not needed.
Unnecessary.
Like her fans aren't gonna like rally for Oprah and agree with her like, oh yeah, we needed to know this. This makes me feel this way about Whitney Houston. We all have our feelings at this point. I don't think anything's gonna change. At this point, it's just like, that's sad. That's sad.
If anything, the Whitney Houston fans have unsubscribed to Oprah's podcast. If anything,
yeah. But I think again, we all feel so close to Oprah. She like raised us in a way, but in a way, Whitney raised us with her because she's still the soundtrack of our life. It's I feel bad about it. I also don't know if the Whitney estate is fully accurate in their statement, but it's their prerogative.
Yeah.
They want to say that they're protecting her legacy. What are they going to say? Yeah, she was high and she apologizes.
If she apologizes from the grave. Yeah. No, I completely understand that. Given that Oprah is our queen in media land, I have to ask you, who is on your top 5 list is like, don't even come to me with the slander? Because it sounds like Oprah is one of them.
Oprah is one of them. I always say Alanis Morissette's my number one queen for past 30 years. I have tattoos of her. I was also raised watching Rosie O'Donnell, and she gets so much hate, but I think she's also
She looks great. Have you seen her facelift? She looks, I love that she was open about it too.
So candid.
She looks great.
She's never going to hide stuff from us. She's so down to earth, and I love anyone who just can pick up the pieces when they're going through such hardships and be resilient, especially through the decades. And so those are 3. Hoda Kotb is another one, fellow journalist.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you?
Have you been a media kid all your life, Kyle?
Kid all my life. And I think people who get in trouble, like, they know how to withstand. Those are the people that I look up to, because it's going to come with being famous regardless.
I'm the same exact way. Oprah was my girl since day one, 4 o'clock every day coming home from school. People are like, oh, are you watching Arthur? Are you watching Sesame Street? I'm watching Oprah, okay? Because there's a whole new episode today. There's a journalist in Atlanta who is named Monica Kaufman Pearson. And she was the first Black anchor in Atlanta, which was a job offered to Oprah, and Monica got it instead. But I'm obsessed with her. I met her, cried my eyes out, like, I idolize you. You can't say a single thing about this woman, and I will fight you. Also, Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams is brilliant. And
she's
another one who has been put through the ringer.
Yes, she's been put through the ringer. But as you said, unfortunately, when you are in the public eye, you kind of just sign up for all of it. It's really sad. It's really sad, but
I loved how candid she was about her addiction battles too on air, and I hope she's doing well.
So let it be known, don't come to me and Kyle about anything about Oprah or Wendy, because we might fight you.
Yeah, or Rosie.
Or Rosie. And do you really want to fight this beautiful face and a pregnant woman? You don't. You don't want these problems. Well, Kyle, stick with us. I have more drama to unfold from this week, and I know you have opinions. Well, as you're watching Living Local After Dark, we will be right back. As Wendy would say, grab a snack and be right back. Oh. Welcome back to Living Local After Dark. I am back with Kyle Ridley, and we've talked about The Bachelorette. We've talked about all the drama going on with that, and Frankie Paul. I mess up her names. I've called her Paul, Frankie Taylor, all the things. But we also talked about the Whitney Houston estate. We've talked about Oprah. But now we're getting into true crime. Are you into true crime?
I'm not, but it's a big genre. I know people are addicted.
Yes. I am not as well outside of the JonBenet Ramsey case. I want to correct that because that was like the case of my childhood and everybody was obsessed with finding JonBenet. I'm still looking for her. Apparently, some people have said, allegedly, that she's Erica Kirk. That's a whole nother that's another conspiracy.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about that today. Kyle's like, don't get me involved.
Oh gosh.
That was not in your prep sheet. I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's a conspiracy. But and on a serious note, TMZ has been heavily involved with the Savannah Guthrie, finding Savannah Guthrie's mother. And when I say involved, they've received alleged ransom notes from the alleged kidnappers. And the most recent note they received was that they know where Savannah Guthrie's mother is located. She's deceased, and they can help find the body for an undisclosed amount of money. So TMZ reports that the FBI source recently contacted them regarding, of course, the ongoing investigation and presumed kidnapping. But according to TMZ, the FBI source discussed both the original ransom communications and a separate individual who has repeatedly contacted media outlets claiming to know the identities of both the kidnappers and the location of Guthrie's body, as I mentioned. And the FBI now believes it may be a woman. So we're finding out more things about this. But my question to you, Kyle, being the media guru you are, do you believe TMZ particularly has a little bit too much, I don't know, stock or hands in on an open investigation? And should they just hand this over to the authorities? But being producer minded, do you want to report the story yourself? And do you feel like you owe it to your audience if you're getting this eyewitness information?
That's tough. I am not an investigative journalist, and that's the area that I probably just really didn't enjoy about the news was the crimes, that hard news.
Because there's families behind it.
There's families behind it, and I do think it should be handled by the authorities, the professionals, the people who have studied it and gotten degrees, and that's their day in and day out. I feel like TMZ is embroiled just in general too much in stuff that the authorities don't know. I don't know why so many people go to TMZ if there's money exchanged. I used to work a bit with TMZ when I was at another station, and I know they have an investigative unit. But with something like this, like hand it off to the authorities, get in direct touch with Savannah, I would hope. I hope they're working with her. I don't know why the criminals are deciding to go to this one outlet repeatedly. I don't know if there's an exchange.
It does seem weird.
I feel like there needs to be like an FBI person at TMZ at all times.
Yes.
I don't like how they're getting the news first, presenting it to us, sharing it with it's very muddy. And has it really solved anything is the bigger question.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. And I know I studied this very closely when it first broke because it was just mind-boggling to me because I was hoping that this wasn't because of Savannah Guthrie's, public persona and someone targeted her. But who knows? We don't know anything about that. But I know that or alleged kidnappers or maybe even fake kidnappers reached out to local outlets in Arizona as well. So it feels weird that they would go through the media, which also feels like a money grab, and it may not be the real kidnappers instead of going through the FBI because they could vet them a lot easier than a TMZ or a local TV station in Arizona. My question, and also I'll weigh in on this as well, is when somebody presents you with something and you can be the first and have the exclusive, and we all know how journalists love to be the first and have the exclusive above everyone else. But to your point, and that's why we were both in lifestyle, let's be honest, is that do you really want to mess with an open investigation where someone's mother could be deceased, could not be living with us, and this could impact the investigation? Do you still report it when that information is given to you?
I don't report it to be the first. No, yeah. I've had like some minor breaking news on like my podcast lifestyle stuff. Like, a movie was announced that no one knows about.
Yes.
I'll report that. That's fun. You're the first to report this.
And no one gets hurt.
There's a murder investigation. There's people's lives at stake. I might have this information. The first place I'm going is not on camera to be able to say, I reported it first. This is a crime.
Yes.
Let's go to the authorities, work with them. Maybe they let you report it first and they know that they have the information and you can report this has all been reported. I'm sharing this now as I got the information first. But to, I think, go on camera and be like, we got it first and now we're going to work with these people and let Savannah know. there's different avenues to take, and I think this is very murky and not above board.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Well, we're running out of time, so before you go, please let us know what you have coming up on The Tangle, because we want to stay tuned in and listen to all the drama and entertainment you have coming up.
Yeah, I have a weekly podcast. It's called The Tangle with Kyle Ridley, and it's a celebrity interview podcast, usually 30 minutes or an hour. And this month we're having a bunch of Pride guests on. So
nice.
You can go to the backlog, and there's a lot of LGBTQ trailblazers and comedians and actors. And yeah, last week I had Guy Branum on, who's a big LGBTQ advocate. He also wrote on this final season of Hacks.
Nice.
I had Dermot Mulroney on recently. He's not gay, but come on. And yeah, just keep up. I have Carla Hall on the show next week.
Yes.
So she's a good friend, and she has a show at Only Theater right now. So I encourage you to go see that, and yeah, subscribe, like, rate.
I love it. And happy Pride. I feel like you guys are celebrating big over there at The Tangle. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, it's always a blast.
Such a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. And you guys can follow Kyle. His social media handle is right there. Follow him for all the latest on The Tangle. Thank you so much for joining me again.
Thank you. Happy Friday. See you soon.
Happy Friday. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, everybody. Don't drink and drive. That's about it. That's it. Have a good one.